In today's video, I'm going to be trying to survive 100 days on Middle-earth. I have 3 objectives. First is to construct an Elven army. Second, defeat the Hill Troll Chieftain, ruler of the Uruk-hai. And finally, eliminate the Balrog, king of Middle-earth.
What in the world is this? I don't know, I've never seen anything like this. Let's go check it out. Looks like there's items on the wall. I'll grab the flint. Okay, I'll grab the golden ring. There's netherrack, I'm gonna light that up. Oh no, I dropped the ring! Wait, what? What the bald is going on here? Wait, can you hear that? I think it's coming from the ring. What even is this thing anyways? Whoa, I feel really weird right now. What's happening? Ah! Where am I? I gotta get back through the portal. What? Where'd it go?
And just like that, my day 1 had begun. I had no clue where I was, and I saw some weird looking hobbit. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. I gathered my wood and stone materials, and these hobbits were looking at me like, what's wrong with having no hair, bro? Leave me alone. After gathering some food and some more wood, I found myself a little hobbit hole. This must be where they live. It was called the Sackville Burrow. More like Painful's gonna borrow. Yeah, that's right. Yoink, I'm gonna be taking all of this. Not only did I borrow their food, but I also took one of the beds. Thanks guys, really appreciate it. Very close by, I seemed to find their neighbor's house.
Hey, how's it going guys? Don't mind me, just here to borrow a couple things.
I ended up taking the bookshelves, their food, and their doors. Yeah, I may have went a little overboard. Later on that evening, the moon is shining bright. I found a hobbit hole right on the water, and I figured this would be a pretty good place to call home. So yeah, I kind of just went to the bedroom and went to sleep. In the morning of day 2, I started wood cutting, and I noticed as soon as I mined one of the blocks, the entire trees started breaking. Like, look at this. How is this happening? Yeah, so this made me gathering wood quite easy. So I was able to gather quite a bit of wood, and I started by creating fences. Since I had no clue where I was, I had no idea if there was going to be any hostile enemies around here. So I played it safe and built a huge barrier around my base. As you can see, in the morning of day 5, I had finished building the barrier, and I created a nice little wheat farm here. That way I have a steady food source. I dedicated the next 3 days to a big mining trip. I knew that if I was going to survive here, I would need armor. Similar to my ability with the trees, I was able to one-hit mine all of that coal, and just like that, I got a ton of torches, and I started mining some more ores, like iron, sulfur, and copper.
This is strange. Where are all the mobs?
Anyways, I continued to pursue this really strange cave, and I found 2 pretty good veins of iron. I set up a couple furnaces, and with the coal and iron I got, I started smelting all the iron. I created an iron pickaxe, axe, and chestplate. After gathering up the rest of the iron that I'd need to create my armor, I went ahead and created my helmet and boots. This was really weird. I gathered full iron and hadn't seen one mob yet. What the heck's going on in this cave? I found this little ravine area with lava, and in the distance, I saw something in the shadows. And when I turned to my side, I saw some sort of troll. So I went ahead and started fighting it. And one thing led to another. I got outnumbered really quickly and got shot by a poisonous arrow. So I had to get the heck out of here. I was not gonna risk dying.
What in the world is that thing? Yeah, I'm getting out of here. See ya.
And after a couple day run, I finally made it back to my hobbit hole. And when I went over to my farms, I realized that half of them were griefed, and there was some rabbits standing nearby. Yeah, these rabbits definitely have been the ones eating my farms. We gotta get rid of them. All right, next up, I looked at the map, and currently I'm in Frogmorton in the Shire, and I needed to make it all the way to Rivendell. So I began my travel of 4 days. While journeying to Rivendell, I found this broken down building with people in it, and when I walked up to them, they took my food and my pickaxe. Yep, it looks like I've ran into a group of bandits, so I'm gonna have to take them down. They definitely outnumber me, but the good thing is they hadn't stolen any of my armor, and I still have my weapons, so I was able to defend myself. As the fight continued, it hit me and it poisoned me. It seemed like one of them had a poisonous weapon. Anyways, after eliminating them, I got my bread back, pickaxe, and they dropped some silver coins. The silver coins will come in handy later, just wait. After almost dying to bandits, I managed to find my way to what seemed to be Rivendell, and as you can see, there's a lot of elves that are fully geared up in armor. This is insane. I noticed this elf had a cape and looked pretty sweet, so that was definitely the captain, and then this must have been his palace. I noticed this guard on a horse had a quest, and it said it wanted me to slay 20 spawns of Angmar. What the heck is that? I mean, I guess I'll do that. Anyways, I accepted the quest and I began my 2-day travel. On day 21, I arrived at Angmar. This is where I needed to be to eliminate the spawns of Angmar. And as you can see, I started by fighting off some orcs and goblins. I chose to use the elevation to my advantage. Me being above them allows me to get more critical strikes, and as you can see, I'm able to knock them off the mountain, making them take serious fall damage and even eliminating some of them. And as you can see, this elevation is really coming in handy. I'm knocking them all the way down, eliminating them, and just like that, I was able to take them down. After eliminating the orcs and trolls, I found their village, and I found a little tent, and inside the chest there was just some sticks, so I griefed the rest of their village so they wouldn't come back. There was another village nearby, and there was no orcs, and I was wondering where they were, and I saw this massive troll. When I got closer, it tried to throw a piece of stone at me. I went underneath it, and it jumped off the tree, hitting me back. It didn't do too much damage with this first hit, so I went back in to trade some hits. I turned around to run away, and it launched me like 10 blocks. I got jumped by an Angmar warg. And after trading a few more hits, I was able to take it down. I looted the chest and got Orc Draught, which gives me 20% more speed and 50% more damage. After drinking that, I felt a lot more confident to go in and try to defeat this troll. I was able to take down one more orc, and as you can see, this troll got me really low, so I had to get away. After regenning my health, I went back in for the final hits, eliminating this troll. After that troll was dead, I felt pretty confident. I walked right in, eliminating the last orc I needed to kill. I began my 2-day journey back to Rivendell, but I saw something. When I got closer, it seemed to be a troll spawner, and it spawned 2 massive trolls on me.
Yep, I'm getting out of here.
And as you can see, on day 25, I made it back to Rivendell. I handed in my quest and got some silver coins in return. I then traveled over to the Rivendell captain, and as you can see, you can purchase troops with silver coins. With the coins, I purchased a Rivendell warrior, rider, and banner bearer. And as you can see, I have some troops. Now that I have troops, I needed a way to command them, and just like that, I created my sword of command. When I right-click, a sword comes down from above, which commands my army members to attack. As you can see, these buffalo didn't really stand too much of a chance. I spent the next 3 days traveling to go mining. It was time to acquire our diamond armor. I ended up finding a cave that was right inside of a mountain, so we pursued down into the darkness. I continued on my way down, placed a torch, and when I turned around, I saw eyes that lit up in the darkness, and it seemed to be a group of orcs. I noticed that my cavalry was staying back and using their arrows to support from a distance. After I eliminated the orc, one of my cavalry just dove into the hole on his horse. Like, this guy's an absolute savage. I noticed there was multiple orcs in there, so I went down to help, and it placed like some sort of TNT and blew me up, and I almost ended up dying. After eliminating that huge group of orcs, I ended up finding a nice little tunnel, and at the end of the hallway, I found diamonds. It ended up being an 8 vein of diamonds, and shortly later, I had found another 8 veins, so just like that, I got 16 diamonds. I ended up making a chestplate, pickaxe, and axe, and a little while later, after gathering the rest of the diamonds, I created the rest of my armor. The next 3 days I spent going back to my base, and I saw in the distance what seemed to be a group of orcs. With my sword of command, I led the charge. I got a pretty good hit, and they dropped one of those TNT things again and exploded the ground. Geez, good thing I wasn't standing on that. After eliminating the last orc, I noticed that one of my troops was fighting Gandalf. What are you doing, dude? Well, on day 34, I made it back home, but rest in peace to that dude that tried fighting Gandalf. I spent a lot of my day 34 looking through different elven houses, and I finally found an enchantment table. At last, I can finally enchant my armor. I also opened up the chest and I found some lapis, and I found a sword that's better than my diamond axe, and a little potion as well. I set up the enchantment table right outside of the Elven Palace, and I went ahead and enchanted my sword and all of my armor. And while I'm making this wheat farm, I noticed that nearly 90% of you are actually not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you subscribe. It's literally free, and you can always change your mind later. I then spent the next 4 days traveling to Mirkwood. I arrived at the north side of Mirkwood and had to eliminate some crazy big spiders and some orcs. It took me 3 days to travel to the southern side of Mirkwood, and look at this. I found what seemed to be some sort of orc village with a massive tower in the background. I also noticed that none of my troops were with me. Did they get lost in the Mirkwood forest? After eliminating the orcs, I ran past the mobs next to me and charged directly to the top of the tower. At the top, I was greeted by some sort of shaman, but he actually didn't have that much health, so it was pretty easy to kill him. I found another orc camp nearby, and in the chest, I found 64 silver coins. This orc camp was really strong, and it was infested with a ton of mobs. I ignored the mobs and charged back into the other tent and got a bunch more silver coins. Keep in mind, these silver coins are all used to create bigger armies. I charged into the last tent and secured the rest of the silver coins that this city had to offer. Now it was time to get out of here. I went back to the top of the tower, opened up my map, and fast traveled back to Rivendell. You can do this every 30 minutes to save time. Just like that, I made it back to Rivendell. Anyways, I went into the palace and hired a new army. Wow, all those silver coins really came into handy. Look how big my army is now. Anyways, from day 46 to 48, I continued my search for forest. On day 49, I went to the top of a huge mountain, and in the distance, I saw a group of orcs. What could they be protecting? With the sword of command, I led the charge. We were gonna take down all these orcs and see what these things were guarding here on the mountain. As you can see, once again, I'm always using the elevation to my advantage. It allows me to knock people really far away, and they take a lot of fall damage, so it definitely helps. After a while of fighting, I noticed one of my troops was getting cornered by multiple orcs, so I dropped down and helped eliminate them.
What were they protecting? Wait, what is this?
It seemed there was some massive nether-like tunnel going all the way down.
Hey, Jimmy, be careful. Jimmy, oh my God, Jimmy, be careful.
Anyways, I began my pursuit all the way down to the bottom of this orc-like nether cave. I've arrived at the depths of the cave. Anyways, I jumped down not knowing what was there, and I got jumped by orcs. But good thing all of my army members teleported to me. They literally probably just saved me. As you can see, these orcs did not stand a chance to my entire army.
Jimmy, why are you stuck in the roof, dude? Do you have a death wish?
Anyways, after eliminating the orcs, I found their brewing area and got some instant health, and I started looting their chests. Some of the chests even had glistering melons, which meant I was able to brew some more insta health. I also went ahead and took all their soul sand and netherwart farm. After 3 days of traveling, I had arrived back at Rivendell. In the evening, I used the Elven forge, and I was able to combine that with my iron to create Elven steel ingots. After it all smelted, I crafted an entire Elven steel set of armor. The next 3 days, I traveled back to the Shire in hopes to find forest. On day 58, I had finally arrived at the Shire, and I found something weird. This house had a wheat farm and cow and sheep farm. That's not normal. Could forest have possibly been here? For the next couple of days, I traveled to the Blue Mountains. Maybe forest could have been with the dwarves, so I needed to find out. I traveled close to the top of the mountain, and I found this weird passageway.
What the heck is this place anyways? Oh my God, what? I right-clicked the wall and it opened. Hello? Hey man, is Forrest here?
I went down the stairs, but Forrest was nowhere to be found. I also found this axe on the wall, so I went ahead and borrowed that. It looked cool, okay? There was a drink on the counter, and when I drank it, it gave me night vision. Okay, these drinks are sweet. I wonder what's in the rest. The last drinks gave me night vision. What will these ones give me? I started to be able to lose control, and my whole screen was bouncing around, so I decided to go to bed. I decided to travel south to a place called Mirkwood, a desert. After a couple days of traveling, I saw tents in the distance, and one of these things tried to kill me, so it's a good thing I had my army here to back me up. Anyways, it seemed like this was some sort of mercenary camp, so we decided to take down as many of these as we could. After eliminating the mercenaries, I looted the chest and got a small pouch. When I right-clicked it, I opened it, and it had 9 slots in it. That is pretty awesome. In another chest, I found an unbaric mace, which was better than my elven sword. These tents had some pretty interesting loot. I ended up finding a troll totem base and a troll totem head. And in the final chest, I found the troll totem body. Could this possibly summon a troll? I kept traveling for a couple more days. Unfortunately, that camel was too fast for my troops to keep up, so we had to abandon it, but in the distance, I saw a big sand temple. There was a gold block at the top, which I got, and it looked like there was some secret passageway. I kept mining, and I found myself in a room. Next thing I knew, I was getting attacked by some scorpions. What in the world? Why was there a hidden room underneath this temple filled with scorpions? Anyways, I decided to break the scorpion spawner, and I broke the platform that it was on, and I found something. And when I broke it, some sort of skeleton just spawned out of nowhere. Good thing I had my army here to back me up, because this thing did not stand a chance against all of us. I then decided to fast travel back to Rivendell, making it here on day 68. I then went ahead and enchanted all of my Rivendell Elven armor, and spent the next 5 days with my army traveling to Lothlorien, where the High Elves reside.
Wow, this place looks insane. Just look at the trees. I've never seen anything like this. What in the world is that tree? It's bigger than the bald spot on Forest's head.
I built a pathway leading into this treehouse, and there was an elf here with a quest. The quest wanted me to defeat 23 Galdor orcs. After 4 days of traveling, I made it to Galdor and was immediately attacked by orcs. I potted my strength and speed and started fighting. I ended up fighting throughout the day all the way into the nighttime. I still had some more to kill. I was feeling pretty confident with the army I had. Anyways, after eliminating what seemed to be most of the orcs, I opened a chest, got a bunch of poisonous arrows, a power 5 bow, and some orc drive. I then placed down the troll base, the troll body, and the troll head. As you can see, it spawned in, and I placed a bone in its mouth. I didn't see anything at first, and then my army started shooting arrows, and I saw it come out of the ground. I started by using my Power 5 bow, and as you can see, it does insane damage, and just when I thought I was gonna kill him, it healed back to full HP.
What in the world? How did it get back to full HP?
I charged in using the mace, doing insane damage, and it started jumping around, throwing stone at everyone. And as you can see, the chieftain's really low on this tree above me. I kept using my bow and it spawned a troll next to it. So I put a bunch of poisonous arrows into that troll, eliminating it. And when I tried to kill the chieftain, it went back to full health again. I ended up getting the chieftain really close and he pulled out a club and started hitting me. And it seems like he has longer range than me because I couldn't even hit him. Before I knew it, the chieftain was almost back at full health, but the good thing is I eliminated most of the orcs and trolls, which meant it was kind of a one-on-one, minus all these little orcs. A little while later, I finally eliminated the chieftain, and he seemed to have spawned a lot of trolls on me, but I was able to take them down pretty easily. I then fast-traveled back to Rivendell and arrived on day 80. Using the gold coins that I got from the chieftain, I bought a massive army unit. I then brewed up some potions that I was gonna need. I got instant health, speed, and strength, and I spent the next 3 days traveling to Atonmo. On day 85, I had finally arrived at what seemed to be Atonmo. I mined into it and seemed to be a big black hole. As I was mining down, all my troops were diving off the top for some reason. Good thing they didn't all die.
I'll see you guys on the other side.
I jumped into the black pit of Atonmo and found myself in a weird ice-like cave. After running around in the darkness, I'd finally found a chest with some night vision potions. That's a lot better. I ended up running into some like frost warg. I don't even know what that thing is, but every time it hit me, my screen went white. And after a while of fighting orcs and more of these weird warg things, like whatever they are, it ended up dropping a key. And with that key, I unlocked a basement. I was walking down the stairs for a while and found myself in a nether-like cave. What in the world is this? I immediately was greeted by a group of hogs, but for some reason they were like comboing me. Like they hit me multiple times in the air before I could even hit them. What in the world? Anyways, with a few more hits, I was able to take them down. And as you can see, it dropped a key. With that key, I unlocked the final level of Atonmo. As I was running down the hallway, I found another chest with some golden apples, instant health, and fire resistance. I wasn't sure where to go, but I'm not going towards those trolls. Anyways, I started running straight and I saw a bunch of glowstone and some sort of lava monster. I drank my potions and I charged directly in. Little did I know this was Balrog, the king of Middle-earth. It seemed like every time Balrog hit me, I was set on fire. I guess it's a good thing I found that fire res just before the fight. It seemed like this Balrog guy was spawning in a bunch of orcs and a bunch more wargs as well. That is not good. This thing has a lot of power. It hit me and I went flying back. Anyways, I used this as an opportunity to eat some golden apples. Within a blink of an eye, there was like hundreds of mobs on me. Anyways, with one more hit, I eliminated Balrog, and now I just gotta defeat all these orcs. And as you can see, I just made it out alive. Had to use a health potion there though. Anyways, I was teleported outside of Atonmo and began my journey back to Rivendell. I needed to gather food before heading to Barad-dûr. 5 days of traveling later, I arrived at Barad-dûr, and in the distance, I think that's Forest.
Forest, glad to see you're alive. Likewise, your army looks insane. Thanks, and why is half of your army bald? Is it called the Bald Army? Don't worry about that. I have the ring and we need to burn it now to escape. Here's where we're gonna burn it. Okay, do it.
Just like that, Forest threw the golden ring into the lava, spawning the gold ring teleporter. We stood inside of it and teleported back to the overworld.
We finally made it back. Man, am I glad to be here again.
If you made it this far, make sure you watch Forrest's video. We each had different objectives, which made our videos a lot different. Thanks for watching.